Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. Tonight we're doing a live fantasy basketball mock draft, Fantasy Fellowship League here. I randomized this thing, and we got the first overall pick here, so I'm going to run this pick in with Giannis Antetokounmpo here. So here we are with the first pick on the board here. I'll kind of get over, and we'll look at each person's that I got going on here. But this is a fun league. We have a handful of people that I'm close friends with, but we also have a bunch of cool people here that I met on YouTube or Twitter. Just a handful of fun people here. So Fabian's in the chat room here. He's actually on the clock right now here. He's pick number 3, so we'll see what he does. My brother is pick number 2. He just took Luka Doncic, so that's going to be fun here. So we'll see what Fabian does with pick 3. No pressure here. Pick 3 goes Trae Young. Woo! All right, that's kind of fun. I haven't seen Trae Young go number 3, but I respect the pick. He's a really fun, exciting player, good candidate to lead the team or he could lead the league in points scored. So a little spicy start here at pick number 3, Trae Young, Fabian, fun pick there. The fellow JGM, good friend of mine, Jesse, he's going to take Anthony Davis down here in the corner, and we're on to Turner now, and then Turner pops in, and he's going to slam Karl Anthony Towns. So yeah, Trae Young, I mean, fantasy basketball is easy, man. You take good players, and you take guys you want to root for. My number one rule is have fun with who you're taking there, and I won't knock any pick. I will, if you've got a reason, there's no problem with me. So yeah, it's a fun league. It's fun league. Yeah, this is a zero cost league. Again, I reached out to people on YouTube and Twitter, and we kind of just joined a free league. First place, I will offer $25. We'll sync up for that money later. But now we got Matt Boehm on the clock here, pick number 6, the fellow MLB, Matt Lee Boehm. This is his first. This is Matt's first year playing fantasy basketball. I had to beg him to play. He's been interested, but he's on the fence here. So I'm hoping he likes fantasy basketball and wants to play a little bit more here. And he gets Nikola Jokic here down at 6, so that he's going to have a fun season. Nikola is one of the most consistent players that you can pick. Not going to wow you at all, but he does have games where he can take over and just simply destroy people. So I like Jokic. Pretty fun draft so far. I like the Fabian pick of Trae Young. You got to get your guys. He knew there's no chance he was going to get Trae Young in the second round there, so you got to go ahead and get your guys here. So a lot of fun. Looks like Team Lucky, Stephen Curry here. Not a bad pick at all. James Harden falls to 8, so the Evansville Supersonics. I'm trying to make sure. I want to see. I got to make sure everyone's names here. I think that's Scott. Scott is Evansville Supersonics here. So I just want to kind of pull up everyone's name real quick, and I'll kind of do a shout out here. So thank you guys this is the first free league I've hosted. So this is kind of really fun for me. We'll do a fantasy football league too. So shout out to Andrew Bauer, Matt Boehm. We got Turner in the chat room here, Turner Hare. Fabian Vasquez here, he's the 5th guy on the list. Scott Alsop, thanks for hanging out. We got Frank Ping. We got Zion. This is Trevor. Trevor hit me up on Twitter. I don't know if he's going to be joining the draft. He's the only one not to participate so far. So hopefully Trevor joins at some point here. I don't know who Hui Kong Tan is, but Team Kobe. We'll see what Hugh can do. And then Snehith Njim. Sorry if I pronounce these names wrong. Shout out to Austin Corneliuson. That's my sister's boyfriend. They just had a kid. So glad to have Austin in the chat. He ends up taking. I'm trying to see here what the pick is. He hasn't picked yet. So we're sitting here on pick number 9. That's Invictus, and that's going to be Frank. So Frank Ping is on the board here. And then we got Jesse Meineke, the fellow JGM. You guys know him from my Saturday morning show. So thank you guys for joining the league. This is going to be a lot of fun. Free fun league here. So Invictus on the clock here. And it looks like he ends up with Damian Lillard. So Austin, we'll see what Austin does here. Team name Goats. We had somebody back out this morning, so I had to fill it real quickly. So we'll see what happens here. But I don't know, pretty typical first-round pick here. You really can't lose your draft in the first Michael God's Gilchrist. You really can't lose your draft with your first pick. So as long as you're having fun, taking good players here, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, you're splitting hairs there. I think Durant is going to have a pretty fun season. And basketball starts tomorrow night. So we have 2 really good games, Brooklyn Golden State and then LA versus LA. So it looks like Austin here goes with Jason Tatum. one of my favorite players. I really like the Boston Celtics core of Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So if someone wants to beat me to Jaylen Brown, I just gave my hand up. So we'll see what happens there. But we're moving on here to the end of the first round. I'm disappointed Trevor hasn't been able to join the lobby here yet, but I've messaged him, Twitter, email, and nothing yet. So it looks like we're gonna have an auto picker here for the rest of the way. But super thankful to have 11 out of 12 people show up here. So I'm also kind of just we're just hanging out, keeping it casual. We got the football game here. We got the football game going on here on the side here. Looks like Ben Roethlisberger's struggling. I think he just threw another interception here. So Pittsburgh Steelers not exactly having a good time tonight here against the Bengals. Oh, it was a fumbled snap. So fumbled snap for Pittsburgh there. So Trev is up. I don't know if Trev joined the chat here, but wow. I think that's Frank. Frank Ping gets LeBron James to fall all the way to 11 here. That's pretty good value. So which center is the best, Rudy, Joel, or Drummond? I'm going with Drummond all day in that one. Drummond's going to lead the league in rebounds. And you see here, just based on the rankings, I guess Embiid's a pretty good pick too. He's a better scorer. But Drummond, not a lot of high points, but he gets the rebounds. I guess in terms of rankings, Joel Embiid's probably the safest pick here. I don't know if you're going to get him at pick number 22, Fabian, but if you can get Drummond, I think that's probably the guy that you're most interested in. I'm assuming Joel Embiid's probably going to go off the board pretty quick here. Really talented player, super high potential points. You know, you see these 77s, these 66, and this is a 12-team. This is a 12-team head-to-head points league, so we don't do categories or anything. But I like Embiid there, and then probably Drummond, and then Rudy to get 26 to move on. Well, hopefully things get going. Hopefully things get moving here. It's still early. There's still 8 minutes left in the first quarter, so we'll see what happens here. It looks like did Trev make the show here? I didn't see his name get announced in the thing. But he goes Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons. I think if you get Kevin Durant at pick 12, you're feeling pretty good. Super excited to see Kevin Durant back on the court again tomorrow night against Golden State. And then there you go, Fabian. We got Joel Embiid off the board here. Looks like Invictus is on the Devin Booker, Russell Westbrook. We're moving quickly here. So this is fun. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing at pick 24 and 25. I typically like to one of my favorite things to do is to look for players that have 2 designations for positions. That's just something I like to do for flexibility here. So we're moving on here. Pick 18. Jimmy Butler just went off the board. If you guys have questions in the chat room, feel free to question. I've never live streamed a draft before, so this is all kind of new. But if you guys are also, I'm assuming if you're playing fantasy basketball this year, you're probably drafting tonight too, or you haven't drafted yet tonight. So if you guys do have questions or thoughts on players, feel free to ask questions. We can kind of do whatever happens tonight, but we'll go live for the entire show. So we got a long way ahead of us yet, probably an hour and a half. And then we see one of my favorite picks right there, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City Thunder, Team Lucky with the really good pick there. I like that, Lucky. Really good pick. I ended up I have a money fantasy basketball league that we drafted last night. I was able to get SGA at pick 23. He fell all the way to me at 23. And then with 26, I came back with another young player here. But yeah, SGA, I think everyone's realizing that he is going to be the face of Oklahoma City Thunder. And if you don't know who SGA is yet, you're going to this year. He's probably an all-star player here. So really fun pick there. It looks like Siakam for Matt Bain here, round 2, pick 7. And then there's Drummond. We got Turner snagging Andre Drummond there, so that's a really solid pick. No one can disagree with the pick of Andre Drummond. Super fun rebounding potential there. And then we got Jesse here, who I know Jesse, last night he took Andre Drummond, so he's probably a little disappointed that he couldn't get him there. So I don't know. We're looking at a handful of guys here. I really don't know who I like. There you go. He takes Bam out of bio. So a handful of centers back to back here. And then Fabian, what do you got for us, Fabian? Let's see what kind of a run on centers there. So that's a little disappointing if you were looking there. But he goes Rudy Gobert. Awesome. And then my brother takes Ja Morant. Whew. Wow. Okay. So I'm up with back-to-back picks here. How do I not take – I like Bradley Beal. I like Kyrie Irving. I like Kawhi Leonard, who hopefully isn't I hope he's not missing games. Last year, that was a problem for me, is he occasionally rested in quite a bit of games. I'm going to take Zion Williamson here, though. I don't think anyone can knock me for the Zion Williamson pick. He looked really good against the Bucks the other night too. And then my other favorite pick though is Brandon Ingram. Do I want 2 New Orleans Pelicans here? Do I fall into Kawhi Leonard? I don't know if he's going to be getting as much rest as he did last year. I think they put in a rule where you can't really do that. So I like Kawhi Leonard quite a bit here. It's either Kawhi Leonard or Brandon Ingram, guys. Shooting small forward, power forward here. Brandon Ingram, super nice player here. He's going to score and pad the stats here. So I'm going Brandon Ingram. I'll pass on some of these top guys for you guys here. But I got 2 Pelicans and Giannis Antetokounmpo here. So I would have liked Kawhi Leonard. I just don't know what the load. Did they like rule out load management? I'm not sure entirely there. Maybe Andrew takes Kawhi here, my brother number 2 here at pick 26. But Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, that's pretty fun for me. I got people texting me about this game right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, they're down 3-0 here. So if you're fighting for a fantasy championship berth, not going good for Pittsburgh right now. So hopefully the fight makes them put up a little bit of numbers on offense here. So Andrew's on the clock here. Looks like our guy joined the draft just now. Trevor's in the draft. Welcome, Trevor. Andrew takes Milwaukee Buck Drew Holiday. If you guys don't know, I'm from Green Bay, but I live in Milwaukee, so the Bucks are probably going to dictate a lot of my thinking. But I got Giannis, so I'm probably not going to dip into the Bucks too much there. But Drew Holiday, really good player, really exciting piece for defense on Milwaukee. He's going to chip in stats all across the board. I'm just texting Trevor real quick right now. No problem, sir. Glad you made it. So awesome. We got everybody here, 12 out of 12. This is going to be good. He can't be mad with his 2 auto picks. He ended up getting auto picked Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons. Not the worst situation. So Fabian goes Paul George. The JGM goes Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, no problem, man. Not the worst auto picks. But we're cruising here. We're going through middle of the 3rd round. We got Donovan Mitchell falling to Turner here. That's a good spot there. I had a tough time. I mean, I could have taken Mitchell, Kawhi. Like I could have taken all these guys here. So that third round's really, really deep, guys. And I don't know. I kind of want to call out names that I like, but Bradley Beal and Kyrie Irving, the fact that they're still sitting around right now, DeAndre Ayton and Nikola Vucevic at center, those guys are both. There's kind of a drop off after those 2. I do think Sabonis is probably a pretty good pick down the line at some point here. But did I miss something on Beal? No love on Beal. I think people are just worried about Russell Westbrook. People are just a little bit worried about him not being the main piece of the Washington Wizards. He was phenomenal last year, but again, he was putting up 40s, 50 points per game down there towards when the calendar turned to March. So Bradley Beal, really fun player. The ball's going to just be in his hand less. So we'll see what happens there. Matt Lee Bame takes the Bradley Beal. So that's tremendous value. I've seen Bradley Beal go early to mid-2nd round. So we'll see what Matt does here. I'm just curious to look at Matt's team real quick. This is Matt's first fantasy basketball league. He's got Bradley Beal, Pascal Siakam, and Nikola Jokic. So pretty good start there for Matt Bame. And once they can let me pick up Russell. Who are some good sleepers around 6 to 8? We'll kind of shout those out more a little bit later. I'm just trying to think here. Bame blew it with the Bradley Beal pick. Who knows? But I'm kind of just looking down towards round 6 and 8. We'll talk about those in a little bit. There's some names that stick out, but I might. I'll probably announce some after I pick, because I'm going to be picking at the end of round 4. The first pick around 5. I'll talk about those in a little bit. Oh man, ISO, we lost. That's disappointing. You were the one that had the 2-week matchup, right, ISO? If I remember correctly here. But yeah, we'll get into some sleepers in a little bit here. Apparently Ben Simmons is on the board here for trades. If anyone wants Ben Simmons there, our guy Trev is offering Ben Simmons, and then Team Invictus gets Domantas Sabonis, one of my favorite players. Kyrie Irving falls to round 3, pick 8. And then DeAndre Ayton, round 3, pick 7. There's a lot of value here in the third round. I really like Nikola Vucevic here. Can't argue with D'Angelo Russell, DeMar DeRozan, Jamal Murray, some of my favorite picks here. Nope, there was a 1 week matchup into the second round. Okay, is Jonas good? Yeah, Jonas Valanciunas is a pretty good player. Did he go off the board yet? I think I see him a little bit later. Where's Jonas? Where is Jonas? Am I missing him? Yeah, he's down here. Yeah, I would qualify him as a potential round 6 sleeper. He's not really a sleeper, but he's a very good player here. So 1 week matchup, but made it to the second round. Well, we can still get you to third place. Hopefully, if your league pays out to third place. So Matt Bain wanted Kyrie, but he doesn't get hurt often. He's been banged up the last couple of years, but he has a little bit more incentive to stay healthy this year now that Durant's ready to roll. So Kyrie, he's kind of like a wild. He's the ultimate wild card there. I would say that. So John Collins, one of my favorite picks. I really like Trev's pick of Jamal Murray, DeMar DeRozan, both really solid players there. And then John Collins. I just love John Collins. And there you go, Austin getting Chris Middleton. There's a Milwaukee Buck for you there. So I was hoping he would get $1. I feel like a jackass getting. 1, I created the league, and 2, it gives me the first overall pick. I don't feel great about it. I wish somebody else would have been able to get it. But we're moving on here into the fourth round, cruising around here. Nikola Vucevic still on the board. Chris Paul, D'Angelo Russell, Tobias Harris, some top players there. A couple good point guards in a row here with Russell, Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry. So if you need point guards, even Fred VanVleet, there we go. Miami Goats takes Kyle Lowry. That's Austin Corneliuson. Him and my sister just had a baby, so that's cool. I wanted him to join the league. But lots of point guards, lots of shooting guards available here. I think I'm going to like my spot at pick 48 and 49. And I'll kind of start calling out after I pick. We'll kind of call out some guys that I like that I know aren't going to make it back to me. But man, the Steelers game, they're going to have to punt again. 4th and 7, 3 minutes 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Your Pittsburgh Steelers are not looking so hot right now. But yeah, here we go. We're moving on here. There's Nikola Vucevic, one of the best picks. And then Zach LaVine, I like that pick for Invictus. Zach LaVine, kind of like Kyrie Irving. He's got this little injury plague bug that if LaVine plays quite a bit, he's going to have a pretty good season. Vucevic, though, I keep spelling it wrong. Where are we here? But yeah, this is looking pretty fun here. I really like that John Collins pick. So will TJ Warren be a bust? I don't know, Fabian, if you watched much of the bubble, but TJ Warren was the best player on the floor for the Indiana Pacers. So I think TJ Warren, especially this round, really fun player. I don't think he's a bust. I think he's a player that's stepping into a pretty big role. His numbers before the bubble were pretty solid too. So at worst, this is what he's going to get you. Probably somewhere in that 30 plus points per game. But the way he played in the bubble, he turned it on to a different gear. So TJ Warren's one of my favorite picks there. He's shooting threes now as well. Whose are you pick, Russell, in front of me? So we're moving on here. Matt Bain is going to be up to pick here. I'll make fun of his pick in just a second. I like to give Matt Bain a lot of crap. He's just the guy you gotta make fun of. So Matt Bain taking Tobias Harris, former Milwaukee Buck, small forward for the Philadelphia 76ers here. Turner's going to be up to pick here. I'm excited to make my pick because I really like this spot of the draft. There you go. De'Aaron Fox, great player for the Sacramento Kings. Jesse gets Christian Wood. He was so mad that he couldn't get Christian Wood last night. He makes sure he snags him in the 4th round there. So Fabian's up here. We'll see what he does. He did ask about TJ Warren. Looks like there's a handful of guys here that I really like. So I got to be quiet. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Jesse, I think we're thinking of the same player. I just don't know what to do right now because there's a handful of guys I like here. So he takes TJ Warren. My brother Andrew is going to be on the clock here We'll see what he does. He takes Fred VanVleet, so he was kind of double dipping in the Fred VanVleet. He did that last night as well. My favorite player, though, guys. You know what you're doing. Jesse? Do I do this? Like, I like Kelly Oubre quite a bit, though. I like Kelly Oubre quite a bit. He's going to be a really good player for the Golden State Warriors. I don't have a point guard yet. I don't really have a true center. CJ McCollum's a baller as well. He puts up a lot of points. There's nights where he's actually the best player on the floor for the Trailblazers. But I got to rep my league from last night here. Jaylen Brown went in the 4th round, so I'm going to fall on the Jaylen Brown here. This is the player with Gordon Hayward out of the mix now. The dude was the last handful of games here in February and March. He was putting up some monster numbers here, and he's going to be, outside of Jason Tatum, he's going to be the best player for the Celtics. So I'm taking Jaylen Brown there, and then I'm going to pivot here. Last night I did take Kelly Oubre, CJ McCollum, so I'm kind of interested in maybe snagging another one of these guys here. So I'm going to elect. I just took a shooting guard. I'm going to take the small forward and the power forward, Kelly Oubre here, and we'll see what happens. So fun draft for me so far. I kind of went risky with the Jaylen Brown pick. We'll see what Andrew does here on the turn. But as we're looking towards 6th round players here, guys I like, Clint Capella could be a pretty good value. John Wall makes sense. I think Montrezl Harrell's going to get a lot more playing time than people imagine, just because the Lakers are coming off. The guys are mad I took Jaylen Brown. With the Lakers here, I'm not really sure how the minutes are going to shake out. I think there could be a potential for a lot of like big men minutes early, because they just got done playing like 2 months ago. So the offseason and the minutes management there, I think Montrezl Harrell could see the floor a lot. I like Devontae Graham. He's going to be more of a shooting guard, I think, this year with LaMelo Ball in the fold. There's CJ McCollum. There's Victor Oladipo. Andrew takes Hassan Whiteside. I do have one player here that I like quite a bit, but I can't mention him. There's a lot of good picks here, guys, in the 6th round here. But I guess if I'm looking kind of down the list, if Porzingis falls to the 6th round, and nope, there he goes. Turner got it. Turner knows what to do. And with Porzingis, he might not be healthy right away, but he's like, if Porzingis was healthy, 100% healthy right now, he would probably be like a fringe 2nd, 3rd round pick. So Porzingis, a little bit of a slow start in January, but he should be rocking and rolling here. So Jesse's asking, can he have his team in our money league here? Hey, this is a money league. This is $25. This is a $25 league that is free here. So I'm just curious. Let's look at Jesse's team real quick. It looks like Tyler Boyd's going to the locker room, guys, for Cincinnati. So hopefully you weren't relying on Tyler Boyd tonight for this championship push. But Jesse, he's got McCollum, Kawhi, Anthony Davis, Adebayo, Christian Wood. He's feeling good. He's feeling good there. So yeah, guys, sorry. I had to take Jaylen Brown. Seeing some people mad in the chat room. Jaylen Brown was kind of the eye of the he was just way too low in terms of ADP. If you did any mock drafts, he was down there in the 80s for rankings. This is a top 5, top 10 shooting guard this season here. So I really think Jaylen Brown's going to be fun. Just to recap there, it looks like Chris Paul falls to Matt Bain there. That's pretty decent value. John Wall, there you go. Scott with the round 5 pick 8. Robert Covington, pretty good player there for the Portland Trailblazers. There's a lot of good centers available right now, whether that's Mitchell Robinson, Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas, and Clint Capella here. There you go. Julius Randle. That's the one name I didn't want to shout out there, but Team Invictus. I can't remember whose team. What's Invictus's first name here? I want to get that correct. But Julius Randle was definitely one of my sleepers. He was kind of like Jaylen Brown. His ADP was just way too low here. So Team Invictus, that's Frank. Frank knows his stuff. Great job. Great pick, Frank. That's a really good pick. Al Horford, that looks like Austin's pick there. Team Kobe takes Michael Brogdon. So who's Team Kobe? That's going to be Huey. I think I'm not sure how to say these names. Is it Huey? And then Snehith and Jim. You guys got some different names there. Sorry if I butchered them. But we're moving around here. End of round 5. Trev is going to be up to pick here. He seems to have some pretty good players that he likes. So we'll see what Trev does. Mitchell Robinson hanging around. He's got an ADP of 50 here. Let me see some of the stuff in the chat room here. Ruri. Wow. Yeah, Ruri's got the, I think he's got the eye infection for 3 weeks. Jesse and I were kind of joking about that earlier today, but he's out for 3 weeks. So that's going to bump up some of your Washington Wizards players at the small forward, power forward position. So there will be some guys that we are fighting for soon. But if you have, will he drop? If you have an IR spot, and it's pink eye, yeah. If you have an IR spot, we do have 2 IR spots in this league, so we're just going to move whoever takes Ruri. He's probably going to fall to the end of the round, like the end of the draft now. So he should be a free square if you want to take him and just IR him for a couple games or for a couple weeks. He should be ready to go by the end of January. So Trev's on the board here, 5 seconds. We'll see what he does real quick. I'm expecting some craziness from Trev. Looks like he did go auto pick here with Mitchell Robinson and Gordon Hayward. So let's see here. He had to sleep in a porta potty last night. Thoughts on Russ? What pick would he go because he might not play back-to-backs? So I thought I saw something where load management wasn't a thing anymore. Like, I don't know if there's a rule in place. I thought there was something here, but I'm assuming he's probably going to be on that Kawhi Leonard train for something. And even when Kawhi Leonard was doing the load management last year, he was still the second best player at his position. So I still think Russell Westbrook's going to be fine here. I'm trying to think where did he end up falling here in the draft? Just looking real quick. So round 2, pick 4. I don't have a problem with that. You know, some of these other guys do have some questions here. But Russell Westbrook, especially now that he's got a team with shooters like Washington, he's going to be getting so many dimes to Bradley Beal. He's going to make up for it there. So I'm not too worried about Russ. Something wild happened. Russ Westbrook, yes. He's going to be good. I'm not too worried about Russell at all, so he should be okay there. But just getting caught up here, it looks like Buddy Hield, Lonzo Ball. We're getting some point guards and some shooting guards off the board here. But man, this Pittsburgh Steeler team right now is just in a funk. Looks like something weird just happened there. Juju with this weird catch and fumble here. And the Bengals get the ball. This is not good, guys. The Steelers, the previously undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, now have lost 2 games in a row. Juju Smith-Schuster just got knocked out. Yeah, the Steelers are looking like garbage right now. Cincinnati, I'm sorry if you guys picked the Steelers to win in any money stuff, but this is the worst game of the year. What made them think that this game should be on the schedule? Monday Night Football, Week 15. I get it, Joe Burrow, but they had to know that Cincinnati wasn't going to be in the playoffs. Like, they had to know. Like, they should have actually flexed. Like, they should have flexed the Jalen Hurts versus Kyler Murray. That game would have been sick tonight. That would have been super fun. Yeah, Joey Buenas. So we're kind of moving on here. Middle of the 6th round. I have 2 picks coming up. There's Jonas Valanciunas, round 6, pick 6 here. We got Matt Bain. I think Matt Bain was looking at him. So Draymond Green, Steven Adams, best 2 players available on the board. There is a couple guys here that I think I have on my list, but I guarantee you, Jesse at pick 69, you're gonna 69 me on that pick, aren't you, Jesse? I have a bad feeling about this. But Matt Bain, we'll see what Matt Bain does. He's probably going to take Eric Bledsoe or something weird. But I'm just kind of scrolling down here, just looking for guys that I like. The NBA, that's what's cool. Versus like NBA versus football drafts, you can go up until like the 9th, 10th round, and you're still getting a lot of quality players. So NBA, especially for draft, there's almost no stress for me basis on who I'm picking. I like pretty much every player. NBA is a little bit more predictable than football too. So it's NBA leagues are really, really fun. So Matt Bain, he's running out the clock here, getting down to the final 28 seconds. Looks like we're going to rate Justin's team here real quick. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Zion, Clint Capella, Kyrie, Gallinari, assuming that's Devontae Graham, Blake Griffin, Serge Ibaka, Terry Rozier, Bogdanovich, and Kamar Anthony. That's a good team, man. Is that a Justin? How many? Is that a 10-team league? 12-team? If that's 12-team, that's bonkers. That's a great team. But yeah, Russ, Harden, Zion look like your first 3 picks. You snuck in Kyrie there, and then Blake Griffin. I've been a fan of Blake Griffin because his ADP is super cheap. So you got some potential. You've got some potential there. I think this is a really good team. If it's a 10-team league, I'm gonna give it an A minus. It's like a 92%, 93%, really solid team. Turner's asking who should I pick here. If he has that field goal percentage up, like nice Lonzo pick. And 10-team, yeah, man. This is a solid. Like, it looks like you got Kyrie in the 4th. That's pretty stupid. That's pretty good value there. I'm actually a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Devonte Graham. He was one of the best like surprises last year. I grabbed him off waivers like the first week, and he puts up points. And I think with LaMelo Ball there, Devonte Graham could be a guy that just keeps scoring. So he's a pretty fun pick there. So yeah, I like this team, Justin. Really well done. Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice. Why did I pick Aldridge? Was that a mistake? Oh man. Lonzo low-key sleep. Lonzo is a good pick. I don't know why he gets a lot of flack, but Lonzo's in a really good position with. I mean, he's set up so nicely with Zion and Brandon Ingram. He doesn't have to worry too much. He doesn't have to. The game doesn't rely on him. He just needs to kind of run the offense and dish the ball to some of his best players. So Lonzo Ball is probably going to be a really underrated pick here in the 6th. I guess we're in the middle of the 7th round here too. So. Yeah, Turner took LaMarcus Aldridge. Interesting pick for sure. Dang it, Jesse. Dang it. There goes Michael Porter Jr., the one guy I really, really wanted here at pick 72 and 73. Michael Porter Jr. was the one guy that I had in my mind that I couldn't talk about because I was hoping he would fall here, but I knew Jesse would basically cock block this situation here. So Jeremy Grant, I wanted. Yep. Dang it, Jesse. Dang it, Jesse. Sorry. So we got Andrew on the clock here. Draymond Green is just chilling. Nobody wants the Andrew takes Montrezl Harrell. How do I not take? I'm kind of really invested in the New Orleans Pelicans right now. I don't hate it, but this is a productive player. In games where he scores points, because you know he's going to get rebounds and he's going to do some kamikaze like steals and blocks and stuff. Like he's just a load. So Steven Adams is kind of fun. I don't really have a center yet. As I look kind of down the list here, there are some other fun players here for me. I do need a starting point guard here. Draymond Green, like, F you, Jesse. This one's for you. I'm taking Colin Sexton here just for the fun of it. And we're on the clock here again. Pelicans are going to be good. I don't have a center yet, so Steven Adams makes a lot of sense for me. I'm kind of punting at the center position right now, but I'm also going to. One of my favorite players is I got Golden State there. I got the Sexton. I'm just kind of looking down here real deep on the list. No one really sticks out. Dennis Schroeder could be a really fun player here. Steven Adams at the center position. I'm just gonna be really invested in that position there. So I'm just gonna take Dejounte Murray because I like him. Thanks, Scott. Scott's out. Live drafts take time, guys. So I just snagged Colin Sexton and Dejounte Murray. Again, I have a soft spot for players with 2 eligibilities here. I could have taken Steve Adams. I bet Jesse takes. Yeah, I know the sleeper centers. I'm kind of punting on the center position right now. I don't mind going in with a weakness here. And yeah, I took Dejounte. I have a very soft spot for Dejounte Murray, one of my favorite players. And yeah, Lou Williams. Yes, sir. Six man Lou Williams. Lemon Pepper Lou. Coming in there around 7, pick number 3 here. So Jesse's on the board here. I'm not sure what Jesse's gonna do. Take Draymond Green, Jesse. So in my actual money league that we drafted last night, we give points for technical fouls. You get 1 extra point for technical foul. So Draymond Green actually has some value. a little bit extra value in that league. It's a stupid rule, but we actually root for technical fouls in that league. So Aaron Gordon, one of my favorite players here at the power forward position, super productive for the Orlando Magic. He's gonna command minutes, and he's probably their veteran leader besides Vucevic there. So I really like Aaron Gordon there. It's a really good pick. No one wants the Draymond Green. He's got a ranking of 55, and we're on pick 77 here. Looks like Turner's up to pick, so this is going fun. We got a handful of people watching. If you guys have any questions or need any thoughts on players or anything like that, feel free to ask away. And thank you everyone for hanging out in the chat room and watching the stream. I appreciate it all. So Turner's on the clock right now. I'm kind of just looking because I'm not going to be picking for a while here, so I'm kind of just going to be scrolling down the list here and looking for my guys. Hopefully Jesse doesn't have one guard. What's going on here? Guards are deep, man. Guards are deep. Will Grant be productive? Jeremy Grant's a fun player. I really liked him last year, and now he's on the Detroit Pistons, where there's like Detroit's going to be a wasteland for real basketball. Like they're just not going to be good. They're probably going to have the fewest wins in the league, but that actually produces some good fantasy numbers. You know, Jeremy Grant's going to have a lot of opportunity. He's going to get a lot of minutes. He's going to be pretty much involved in everything they do. So I think Grant's going to fill up the stat sheet. He's not going to be an all-star player because of the team he plays on, but Jeremy Grant, really good player, really good spot there. And yeah, Jesse agrees with me that he can be a solid producer there. And yeah, in Detroit, there's no competition at all. They do have the young point guard there that they drafted with the first round pick, Killian Hayes, but there's going to be a lot of opportunity there in Detroit. So in Roto could hurt, but in points league, points league, he's gonna be pretty steady, pretty good pick here. So nobody wants the Draymond Green. Worried for Ingram. Are you talking Brandon Ingram? In terms of like Zion having a bigger role, or what's the situation? Because I'm pretty excited about Brandon Ingram. He just got paid this year, last month here. Like everything, like he was the most improved player in the league last year, and I think he's just going to improve and get better. Hopefully, just kind of even things out. But you see a lot of these 40-point games, and really good player. I'm just expecting a slight improvement, and hopefully he can even things out. But Brandon Ingram, as far as like a third-round pick, one of my favorite players. I got him at pick number 25. So Brandon Ingram, he's definitely a fun player here. And yeah, Steelers might go down, and they started 10-0. It looks like Giovanni Bernard touchdown here. So the Cincinnati Bengals are up 10. Well, it's 9-0. Field goal pending here, but yeah, this is pretty crazy. And then I did get an alert too earlier that Cam Akers has a high ankle sprain and is going to miss week 16. So if you guys watch me for football, Cam Akers is not playing. So we got Weston saying his field goal attempts rebounds go down. As far as being 26th, I think the value is going to be there, and he's still a young player. We really don't know his ceiling. And with a full season of a healthy Zion and Lonzo Ball, like that whole team is just going to get better. I think the Pelicans, we really haven't seen his ceiling. And last year, Ingram was pretty much healthy for the whole season. He still finished number 5 at the small forward position here. So the potential for him to be another top 5 season, he's one of the safest picks. There's almost no downside with him. Like he's going to produce. So maybe not the super like upside of him being like the number 1 small forward here, but Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans, I think you want to get your pieces there. And I took Zion and Brandon Ingram, so I hope those two in a points league, like if anyone has a big game, it's going to be one of the two, and I should get the best of both. So I kind of like stacking those two guys. And I guess I got to watch some Pelicans game here. All right, let's check out Fabian's team real quick and see how he's going. So he got sneaky in the beginning, and he takes Trae Young, number 3 overall. I like the aggressiveness there. Victor Oladipo, Paul George, Jeremy Grant, Rudy Gobert, Lou Williams, and TJ Warren. So yeah, this is a fun team. It's really balanced, and I like it here. Lou Williams is one of the best bench players here. He's going to put up points. You see his consistency is pretty nice. The one thing with him, though, is he doesn't need a lot of minutes to play. But, if there's an injury to a starter and he potentially gets these 44 minutes, that's where he's going to go bonkers. So Lou Williams at that point of the draft, he's a great piece to have, not a lot of high draft capital. But, yeah, this team's going to be led by Trae Young, Paul George, and then Rudy Gobert, man. One of the most reliable centers every game here. He's never gonna score a ton of points, but the rebounds, he has the potential, and then the blocks too. And for our league, blocks are 3 points. So every time you see a block or a steal, you're having a good time there. So Rudy Gobert, I really like the start. Oladipo, we'll see if he can kind of get back to his 2018 form. But towards the end of last year, he was picking it up. So it's more about him just a year removed from his injury, and basically seeing if he can get back to all-star levels here. But from the preseason, it did look like it looked like good things were happening for Oladipo. So I like Fabian's team so far. And then the sleeper here on your team, dude, is going to be Jeremy Grant. This is a guy, when he got the opportunity to play big minutes, which was basically 29, 35 plus, he was a very solid producer. So for him, he's kind of getting entrenched into he's a starter, and he's a key player on the Detroit Pistons. So he's going to be relied on heavily. Hopefully he can kind of stretch out the consistency here. But I really like his defensive ability here too. So really good pick. I think Fabian's got some nice things working for him. So yeah, no problem, man. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out, Weston. I appreciate you watching our video and hanging out in the chat room. And yeah, Rudy got paid. Yeah, Rudy got some money here. So we're moving on into it looks like the 8th round here. Thomas Bryant, one of my favorite picks. And it looks like Austin gets another Milwaukee Buck, Brook Lopez. Hope you're having a good night if you're watching. Draymond Green, Trev with the pick of Draymond Green. He falls to round 7, pick 12. And Steven Adams, Trevor's picks. Nice job, Trevor. He just nailed those 2 picks. Draymond Green and Steven Adams falling that far. Some of the other picks that I really like here, Andrew Wiggins, another good pick there by Invictus. Kemba Walker, you're going to be able to slide him to the IR spot and then pick somebody up right away too. So we'll see what happens there. I think so. But yeah, we're moving on here. Team Lucky is going to be up, followed by Matt Bain here. So we got a lot of fun things going on. If anyone's got any questions in the chat room on things, you can fire it up here. But I've never done a live draft on the YouTube stream before, so we're just kind of chilling, hanging out. The Pittsburgh Steelers are down 10-0. Looks like there's 11 or so minutes left in the second quarter here, so they're really struggling on offense right now. This is not good. Mason's a sleeper. Who's Mason? Mason. Talking Frank Mason? Who am I missing? I can't think of a Mason right now. Mason Plumlee. Oh, yes. So Plumlee, again, he's in that situation with Detroit where, if I kind of just scroll down here, where did Plumlee go? Yeah, there he is. Okay, so Mason Plumlee. Here's the thing. He's not an all-star. This guy, he's a really quality big man, and last year, he averaged 10.5 points per game, 8 boards, 3.5 assists, 1.2 blocks. So he's a really steady player. When he gets the minutes, and you see no more than 20 minutes in any of these games on the list here. But when he's on the court, good things happen. He basically, every minute that he's on the court, he's going to get a fantasy point, as you see here. So with the lack of depth in Detroit, a guy like Mason Plumlee, although I don't really like the pick this early, I do think Mason Plumlee could be potentially a value if he falls a little bit more into the 9th round. So Mason Plumlee, again, just Detroit's a wasteland for the most part here. I'm probably going to be interested in Blake Griffin at some point, but I probably just ruined that now if anyone's listening. So Blake Griffin, one of my guys there. DeMarcus Cousins, another one of my guys. Some really good centers starting to go off the board here. I don't even have a center on my team yet. So Matt Bain takes Jaren Jackson there. Got a lot of things going on the phone there. So this is fun. Turner's going to be up to pick. And there you go. Weston with the thoughts on Blake Griffin for Points League. I picked him up 89th. Yeah, so I know there's a couple guys. Like, I know Jesse's listening. Fabian's listening. My brother at pick 95 is probably listening here. I'm taking Blake Griffin if you guys are going to let me take him. Because you just know, Blake Griffin, sure, he's injury prone. Anything can happen. But any game that we get out of Blake Griffin, we know we're getting a stud. Like when Blake Griffin, oh, no, oh, man. Oh, bummer. Boo. I just got sniped on OG Anunoby, big time sleeper. Big time sleeper, OG Anunoby. But yeah, Blake Griffin for points league, you can't really go wrong. I think that's a really good pick. And then we got a lot of fun here. But again, it kind of goes what we're saying. Eric Ebron's down. Eric Ebron down, grabbing his back. Not good here. But Blake Griffin, you got him at 89th. I'm willing to take him if I can get him here. Again, we kind of touched on Detroit not really being a potential good team this year. There should be a lot of minutes and opportunity. And the thing with taking a team like Detroit and a guy like Blake Griffin, that's a potential league-winning pick. If Blake Griffin plays a full season, and I'm going to get Blake Griffin here. I don't have a center yet, so I kind of would like a center. Guys that stick out. I could take Dante DiVincenzo here. That's kind of a fun player. Mason Plumlee, again, I need centers. I really need centers. I really like Brandon Clark, though. I think that's the guy that I'm going to take for sure. With Jaren Jackson not being ready to start the year, I'm essentially getting the starting power forward for Memphis, and they're also going to use him at the 5 spot a little bit there too. So I do like him quite a bit. Blake Griffin's really far down on the list here. So do I take Blake Griffin right now? I probably should. He played on Saturday here, 11 points, 4 boards, 3 assists in 25 minutes. So not the best performance, but he's also kind of getting healthy here too. And he didn't really play well. He hasn't really played well this whole preseason here. So I do like Blake Griffin quite a bit. But I really need centers, guys. I really need centers here. So I'm going to take a sleeper for myself in Rashawn Holmes. This guy was a pretty good player for me last year. This was a guy, I know Hassan Whiteside is on the team now, but I think they're still going to, at the moment, Rashawn Holmes is starting over Hassan Whiteside. So they're kind of bringing him along here. But this is a really productive player in terms of blocks and steals. You see in the game the other night here on last Saturday, 8 points, 4 boards, 3 blocks, 1 assist, 1 steal. So he's a really fun player for me. I could have taken a guy like Blake Griffin here, but again, I really like the flexibility. Like, look at all the guys I've taken here with dual eligibilities. One of my favorite things to do here, taking guys with multi-spots here. Zion and Brandon Clark are the only power forwards I have here. So this is, Brandon Clark is sweet. And again, I kind of touched on Jaren Jackson not being ready to start the year. This was a rookie who played really above everyone's expectations last year. You see, he's kind of got this streaky shooter touch, but on the nights where he's not scoring, he's still going to chip in. You see 11 boards, 6 boards. He's also getting some things on the defensive end here. So Brandon Clark, at this point in the draft, one of my favorite players to collect here. And Ricky Rubio. Is Ricky Rubio a starter? No, I think he's like the primary backup because he's back on Minnesota now. And the thing with that is, D'Angelo Russell is going to be the commanding point guard there. But for the most part, I do expect Ricky Rubio, when he's going to be a high points per minute type player, that when he's in, he's going to be doing some really good things here. So I'm kind of just looking around here. He's the primary backup. I don't know what's up this day-to-day stuff with Russell here. See the news real quick for D'Angelo. So why are they resting him? I don't know. But yeah, Ricky Rubio, not a starter. Pretty solid spot there. So I hope that's a good pick for maybe the Brandon Clark pick. I think that's a good pick there. So everyone take Blake. Do it. So Danilo Gallinari, he's going to be a role player on the Atlanta Hawks team. He might even be a potential starter for the Hawks. I don't know what's up with Capella, but they got Atlanta Hawks. He's probably going to be John Collins' main backup there. So I like Gallinari in a role. Evan Fournier for Team Fabian, really good pick. The Orlando Magic have a lot of potential this year. Some of my, like Markelle Fultz, Aaron Gordon, Evan Fournier, even is it Terrence Ross? Terrence Ross is a really good player. Vucevic, there's a lot of good players there. So I really like the Fournier pick. One of their best scorers, one of their best peer scorers on the team. Marcus Smart, Marcus Smart's he might be the starting point guard while Kemba Walker gets back from injury. So I really like Marcus Smart there. There's also, I'm trying to think of the other guy that they had there. Who is the other point guard that was getting the snaps there, or I'm thinking in football terms. Let me just pull this up real quick. Look at the Boston Celtics depth chart. Can't remember his name. Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague might be an interesting play. If anyone does end up taking Kemba Walker, Jeff Teague is potentially the starting point guard while Kemba's out. And then you're going to see this mix of probably Jeff Teague and Marcus Smart probably sharing minutes there. So that's probably the guy that's going to be the main backup. So I do like Jeff Teague a little bit down the road here. Yeah, Killian's a favorite. Yep, fellowship favorite for sure. Drake will be happy with that one. Mike Conley, Matt Boehm. Matt Boehm's collecting some of the older tier players here. Let me just pull up Matt Boehm's team. He's got Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, Tobias Harris, Siakam, the Joker, DeLon Wright, Jaren Jackson, Dennis Schroeder, and then Mike Conley. So not as old as I thought, but definitely a pretty good-looking squad there. We got, let me see some of the things in the questions here. Stashing Rubio just in case Russell gets hurt. Yeah, and then what's cool is Rubio is still going to be productive. Like, even when Russell's healthy, Rubio is going to be fine. He's still going to put up flirt with probably 20-plus fantasy points per game because he just gets those assists, and I think he's going to work really well with Karl Anthony Towns. So I like Rubio, and then you have that built-in upside because Russell's been kind of dinged up for a while. I need a backup center. Who do I? Backup center. So Fabian's asking backup centers. I mean, at this point, Plumlee, Jared Allen, two of my favorites there. If I look further down the list, Wiseman's a rookie, but I don't really trust it. DeAndre Jordan could be useful. Wendell Carter Jr. for Chicago. That's a guy with some hidden upside for sure. That one's kind of fun. Those are some of the guys that stick out to me the most. But again, Plumlee's going to get unlimited opportunity there in Detroit. Like, let's just pull up this Pistons roster real quick. And then you're asking me, we hit 150 subs? Hell yeah. We were just at 100 maybe like 3 weeks ago over Thanksgiving. So thanks, guys. That's really awesome. Really appreciate this, guys. Choose. If I had to choose one, I'm probably taking Jared Allen. I like the team better, Brooklyn Nets. But then you see here, Plumlee's scheduled to start. Jaleel Okafor is a quality backup here, but Plumlee's going to get probably, upwards of 25 minutes per game here. So I think Plumlee is going to be pretty solid, but I think give me Jared Allen, who's going to clean up a lot of stuff there for Brooklyn. My team is ass, Matt Boehm says. Mocks went well, nothing like this draft. That's the thing with mocks. Mocks, you just kind of get exposure to different players and different ideas, but you really got to run them to the very end and just kind of get aware of some of the names. Who should I take that's a shooting guard? My bad. Did Turner pick yet? Did I miss Turner's pick? Who should I pick that's a shooting guard? DiVincenzo could have a nice third-year season here. Dinwiddie's going to get some potential usage as well. As far as shooting guard, Rozier's a quality backup. I do like Bogdan Bogdanovic, sharpshooter in Atlanta. That could be a pretty fun shooter for you there. If you want to take a rookie, Anthony Edwards, but Dillon Brooks is a starter in Memphis. This would probably be my answer for you there. Or you could take RJ Barrett. I would say Brooks or Barrett, really good shooting guards. So what's Jesse yelling? Let's go here. So my strong 7 in points league: Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, Ingram, Blake Griffin, Cat, Vic, D'Lo, and Porzingis. Porzingis is going to be fun if you can just hold out and get Porzingis back. You're going to have a powerhouse team. That looks pretty good there, Weston. Popping beers tonight. Did Eric Ebron do anything? What happened here, man? Jesse's getting loose. Give me Jaylen. Who you wanting to trade? I want Jaylen Brown. I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown. I wasn't able to get Jaylen Brown yesterday in my big draft, so he's a player that I made sure that I wasn't going to let that happen. So Jaylen Brown, he ain't going nowhere. And yeah, man, Jesse, 150 subs, dude. We were at 100 back. We just crossed the 100 threshold for Thanksgiving here, so pretty excited. Thank you guys. But Eric Ebron headed to the locker room on the cart. Is this true? I'll trade Drummond. Ooh, Turner's offering Drummond. We will see about that. People want the Jaylen Brown. Apparently, that was a pretty fun pick there. But yeah, man. Thank you guys, everyone in the chat room. 150 subs. Let's get to that next 100 potential spot there. But anyways, we're moving on here. Looks like we're in the middle of the 10th round here. PJ Washington, one of my favorite power forwards here. Again, really young team over there in Charlotte Hornets. I made some good moves last year with the Charlotte Hornets kids. Whether that was I had Devontae Graham, I had PJ Washington, I had some really good players here. It looks like Giovanni Bernard just scores his second touchdown of the game. But this rotation here, I'm assuming we're going to see a weird rotation of Devontae Graham, Rozier, and LaMelo Ball. I think they're going to try to get Ball starting right away. That might push Terry to like a sixth man kind of rotation here. But PJ Washington, this is a guy that can play the 4 and the 5. He's probably going to get PF center designation at some point here. So that's a really fun player, second-year player. And I get the love to draft rookies. But as far as my drafting style, I love to take second and third year players. And this goes for fantasy football too. I have a really good knack for finding rookies that people are kind of underappreciating. And then for some reason they get kind of undervalued in the next year's draft by some of the other rookies that are kind of crowding their space. And second and third year players in the NBA, like those guys are tending to really hit there. So I do like PJ Washington quite a bit there. Let me see here. Yeah, Giovanni Bernard, second touchdown. Brigham sent our boy Ted Mosby benched Giovanni Bernard. Otto Porter or Wendell Carter, who's the most productive season? So different positions for sure. I mean, both guys were injured last year, right? Let me just kind of quick look. I just want to look at the depth chart here and see who they're all contending against. I have a good feeling about Wendell Carter putting it together this year. He's got no problem behind him. As far as competition behind him at the center position, nobody. We'll see what Otto Porter can do here, but I mean, they paid a good price to get him into Chicago. So I really like both guys. At this point in the draft here, did anyone take Otto Porter yet? Is he down farther? Did I miss Otto Porter? Oh, they went back to back here. So my guy Austin takes Otto Porter, Wendell Carter the center. They're both really productive. For me, I'm going to lean towards Wendell Carter. I think he's got a really good spot there for center, and centers get pretty slim there at that point. And I'm up to pick here, so I'll answer those questions in a second. I'm going to fall into some centers here, I think. I do have Rashawn Holmes. I'm going to take Jared Allen, though. This is a guy that I know he's got some potential, studs on his team there with Durant and Kyrie. But this is a guy that he doesn't need to score big points to be big, have a good game. So he's going to do all the dirty work in terms of rebounds and assists or blocks for me. So I'm going to take Jared Allen there to lock up a center position. I only have 2 centers on my team, so that's a little bit annoying. I wish I could have some more guys there. One more pick here. I like Mikal Bridges quite a bit if you guys need small forwards. I do like Davis Bertans because we know that Ruri Hachimura has got the stink eye for 3 weeks here. So a guy like Davis Bertans, all of a sudden he becomes a pretty fun player here. He shoots the ball so well. With Russell Westbrook on the team now too, he should be set up pretty well here for potential 3 balls here. But I do have a lot of shooting forwards here. I'm going to take RJ Barrett here. Again, I like the flexibility. I get a shooting guard and a small forward here. RJ Barrett, it's the Knicks. It's kind of like we were talking about the Pistons, where there's not a lot of good players on the teams, and he's just going to get fed minutes here. And for the most part here, he did play pretty well his rookie season. I'm just expecting him to get a little bit better in year 2, and that kind of goes with my thinking of I love taking younger players here. And then let's see what Fabian's talking about here. Isaac Okoro. Yeah, I do like Okoro quite a bit. Again, I'm not really sure how the rotation is going to work there in Cleveland. Let me just pull up their depth chart real quick. Where is Okoro? So he's going to be far down here, but with Kevin Love and Larry Nance, these guys are always kind of dinged up here. So he could get pushed onto the floor. I don't know if he needs to be, a major piece for me in terms of draft capital here. Don't pick Bertans. I should have taken Bertans there. So who is this? Yeah, it's going to be Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton's one of my favorite players. He gets no love, and especially Alfred Payton for fantasy basketball. Like this dude's kind of a triple double machine here. Why isn't he showing up? There we go, Payton. This dude, starting point guard for the Knicks. He's flirted with triple doubles more often than not here. You see a couple games here where he's got some high assists. He didn't really get too much going at the end of the year, but he's got some potential to put up some bangers here. Not a lot of total points here, but this guy's he's just gonna stuff the assists. He's gonna flirt with some double-digit rebounds. Really productive player there on a good team. And you son of a brick. Did I take one of your guys? RJ Barrett, Jesse? I got your RJ Barrett, I hope, huh? I'm loving my team. I got all these guys that are super flexible. I don't have to worry about positions too much, but we're entering, it looks like round 11 here. So we got a lot of fun things working there. It looks like Wiseman time, baby. Did you take James Wise? Oh, he's next here. He's hanging out here. But Turner's on the board here. We'll see what Turner does. I think I got through all of the questions there in the chat room, but this is a lot of fun. We got, looks like we got about 17 people hanging out in the chat room. So thank you guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Jesse's a little upset I took his RJ Barrett there. Again, one of my, I like taking rookies, but my favorite thing to do is to take these second-year players and even these third-year players where they already got through all their lumps as a rookie. And these guys having a full summer after being, a rookie season, they tend to make their leaps there. So I'm feeling pretty good about RJ Barrett. Again, I got Zion Williamson. That's a guy that's going to take another good leap here. Even Colin Sexton, he's a third-year player that's going to probably take another good leap. And Sexton had himself a pretty good second year. He's not a very consistent guy in terms of boards, assists, or steals, so I'm hoping I can get a little bit more production out of here, but he's a pretty dang good scorer, so I like Mr. Sexton quite a bit here. Joe Harris is a straight shooter. Yeah, Joe Harris, he's going to have some opportunities there as teams are going to be focused on KD and Kyrie for sure, so Harris could be a pretty nice scorer. Justin saying, Wiggins and Draymond Green for Capella and Graham. I'm getting Wiggins and Green. Wiggins and Green for Capella and Graham. Yeah, I think you're getting the good end of that deal. With Capella, I'm not sure how Capella's going to work with John Collins in terms of the rotation. So I like Capella. I don't love him. Devontae Graham is kind of fun, though. He's a pretty good scorer. But you're getting Andrew Wiggins, who, again, he's one of those young players who we haven't seen the best of him yet. And now he's in a really good opportunity in Golden State to show us why he was such a high draft pick. So I like getting the Golden State workhorses there. I think that's going to work out for you. So we're looking around here. This draft is getting to the end here, so hopefully things speed up. Turner's trying to get trades here. Drummond and Kristaps for Brown and Ingram. No way, Turner. No way, Turner. No way, Turner. I'm going to charge a king's ransom for Jaylen Brown here. So we're just kind of hanging on down here in the middle of the 11th round. As you get to this point, you're basically just looking for guys that have a defined role. So sure, I could take Rui Hachimura. He's got the pink eye for 3 weeks, but when Rui plays, he's going to be a good player here. So this might be a guy worth at this point in the draft taking him and then just sliding him to the IR, and then you just run to the waiver wire and pick up another guy for 3 weeks. But when Rui plays, really, this is another player who last year, rookie year, he outperformed like everyone's expectations, and there was a lot of injuries. Thomas Bryant was missing, so they kind of went and played some small ball often here. So he's a small forward. He can shoot the ball, and he's also listed as a power forward here. So I like Rui, and we'll see if he keeps falling there. But he is out for the first 3 weeks, probably with his eye infections. Not sure how that happened there. Jesse has a theory, though. Other guys that stick out, I think Jordan Clarkson's kind of a really fun role player. He's like the sixth, he's probably the first guy off the bench there for Utah, maybe the second guy. But this is a guy who's going to give you some pretty electric minutes here. So really good scorer. He's going to chip in on the boards and get the assists. And he's also pretty sneaky on defense some nights. So I like Clarkson as a role player. At this point, we're kind of just taking, backups in the end of our bench guys. So I would have Jarrett, Allen, and Ibaka as my centers. Those are pretty good centers, man. I know you got Capella there, but I don't mind I mean, I ended up taking Jared Allen tonight. I have him pretty highly graded, and Ibaka's gonna get some run there. So I think you have, and there's always the potential to add I think centers are pretty easy to find. Maybe like a week or two in the season when injuries or anything happen, sometimes centers just kind of show themselves. So I don't mind being a little weak there. And yeah, if you do the Wiggins and the Green. If you're a little gun shy, I get it because, I mean, Devontae Graham's a fun scorer, but he's also in a crowded area now with LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier. But you're getting two really productive players for Golden State, so I think that'd be kind of fun. And I do think Draymond's is he just power forward? I don't know if he's small forward eligible, but I know Wiggins. I ended up taking Wiggins last night in one of my drafts, and I'm very excited about what the new look Warriors can do. So we're moving on here into the 12th round. I have my final two picks coming up here. So we're going to be coming to an end here. I want to thank, we got 19 people hanging out tonight. Wow, thank you. Thank you guys so much for your time tonight. We got, there you go. Team Kobe takes Ruri, Ivica Zubac, Joe Ingles, I call him Joe Ingles, Will Barton, Anthony Edwards, Larry Nance, Seth Curry, Aaron Baines. So we got a lot of people just filling out the end of our bench here. I have the final two picks coming up here in a bit, so I'll kind of do some walk-offs. I don't want to say who I'm eyeballing here, but I got some really fun players here. Did anyone take my Raptors yet? I know I missed OG Anunoby. Pretty disappointed about that. But Norman Powell, man, this dude gets buckets. When he gets the minutes, he's going to score points. He's not really great in terms of rebounds, assists, but he's pretty active on the defensive end too. So this is a high-energy player. I did see rumors of him maybe getting traded, but I am pretty excited about the Raptors' potential rotation. And the Raptors are probably going to play some small ball, some really small lineups this year. So we're looking here. They did add Aaron Baines, which is nice, but I think their best rotation of players is going to be Lowry, Van Vliet, Anunoby, Siakam, and then probably Norman Powell, Chris Boucher. Get some of these quicker, smaller lineups in there. So I think the Raptors do have some potential there. Jesse takes Davis Bertans, the sharp shooter there for Washington. And no problem. Thank you guys. I'm glad I'm able to do something and people want to watch it. That's still a pretty weird thought concept for me, but I appreciate everybody watching on the YouTube channel. Super excited about tonight's show. But this is a free league. I'm going to offer $25 for first place. I think I'm just on the success of this. I think I have to do a free fantasy football league next year. So we'll probably get that going in the summer. We'll talk more about that here. But Fabian is up to pick. I hope you don't take any guys that I want here. We'll see what he does here. He's been making some pretty sneaky picks all night. So I like what he's been doing. In terms of my team, I definitely need some centers and some power forward type moves. Like I said, I did like the Chris Boucher here. Harrison Barnes, good pick there, Fabian. Boucher, this is a guy here, just in limited minutes, man. This guy showed some really crazy numbers. This guy's a freak in the rebounds. He's gonna get blocks. Again, the Raptors, man. One of my favorite teams here that I think you could get some value in. I'll get to those comments in a second here after I make my picks. But I'm taking Daniel Tice, and I like Daniel Tice because this is just a productive player. When he gets minutes, he's going to get points and rebounds, and he's also really scrappy on the defensive end with the blocks. So this is a guy pretty consistent. He's the starting, power forward center, the 4-5 spot for the Boston Celtics. So I do like that quite a bit. And then because I was kind of weak here on the centers, I'm also pretty weak at point guard. I only have technically two true point guards in Colin Sexton and Dejounte Murray here. So I could use a point guard, whether that's Goran Dragic. That could be kind of fun. I do like Terrence Ross, Darius Garland. I might be able to kind of be weak at that position, though. I'm going to take my guy, Chris Boucher, here and just see what happens with the Raptors at the beginning here. But those are all my picks. And we're in the 13th round now, so we'll let you guys kind of fill it out here. I'm going to get back to the comments. So Aaron Baines, Jarrett Allen, Mason Plumlee, pick one. Baines could be nice. Here, but I really like the young talent of Boucher. But Baines he's been really productive for Boston, and I guess that's another reason why I like Daniel Tice is because Baines is finally He was on Phoenix last year, never mind. But he could be a pretty productive player. If I had to pick one, give me Jarrett Allen. I think he's going to get the most opportunity. I know DeAndre Jordan's in there too, but Jordan's getting kind of older. But I guess if you want the guy with the most opportunity, it's going to be Mason Plumlee just because that team's so bad. But for me, I really like Jarrett Allen. I like his hustle, so I'm going to say Jarrett Allen there. Let's look at Turner's team real quick. Mr. Turner, I can't read right now. India Turner squad. Okay. So De'Aaron Fox, great. Donovan Mitchell, fantastic. Bogdan Bogdanovic. Oh, this is Bojan. Okay. So Bojan's fun. This is a guy that can put up mad points any given night here. He's not going to be super consistent every night with the rebounds and the assist, but you want this guy to hit threes. So this is what probably one of the later picks there. I like Bojan. It's one of my late picks. Porzingis, this is going to be a guy that, again, if Porzingis comes back and he plays healthy for a full season, you're going to be definitely a team that we're watching towards the playoffs. Karl-Anthony Towns, stud. Killian Hayes. We've kind of been touching on the Pistons all night. This is a team with a lot of opportunity. He's going to get minutes. Maybe not like early right away, a ton of minutes, but he's going to be able to build himself up and be a force hopefully by the end of the season. Aldridge is kind of funny. He said he didn't really like this pick. I'm not a huge fan of Aldridge, but when he plays, you're getting consistency. You know, he did have a bad game here, but you're going to get a guy that's going to be one of the leading scorers for the Spurs, and he's also got some really good hustle with the steals and the blocks there. So I like that. Drummond, great pick. I'm so you sniped me on OG Anunoby out of nowhere. So this was one of my favorite players. And this guy showed when he gets minutes, he's going to be productive. He's got nobody in front of him now at the small forward spot there. So I really like Anunoby. Dylan Brooks, great pick. You got the rookie Wiseman here to kind of keep an eye and see what he does. And then you backed it up here with some stud veteran players here, Jordan Clarkson, Dragic. So this is going to be a competitive team. You built yourself up with some nice veterans to make you competitive right away. And then you got, you're going to be getting Porzingis, Killian Hayes, and then we'll see what Wiseman can do. So I really like the build of that team here. So really fun draft so far here. So we're just everyone's kind of making their last picks here. This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys. Good luck to everybody. And just thank you guys. There you go. Norman Powell. I think everybody had a good time tonight. So Fabian's asking Troy Brown. Troy Brown's he's definitely going to be a candidate for minutes there. I think we might see them. They're probably going to give that. Because I was talking with my friend about this, Dalton, and how they're going to give Washington's going to give more minutes here. So let me just pull up their depth chart and kind of just show you what we were talking about. So you might see Washington kind of go play some small ball here. There we go. So Washington, let's just pull this up real quick. So Thomas Bryant, starting center, Robin Lopez backup, but Moritz Wagner, he's kind of the third center here. You might see some lineups where we see some double center action here. That could be an interesting thing. We're gonna see Isaac Bonga get some run here as well. But Troy Brown, or it's Troy Brown, like he's probably the next guy up here, and he does play more of the 2-3 position, whereas Ruri was more of like a 3-4-5. He was a really versatile guy here. So Troy Brown, he's going to compete with Denny here for some minutes. So if Denny struggles, it could be Troy Brown. I think that could be interesting, but I do think he's worth a potential late round pick there. So pretty fun here. We're going on here. The final 5 picks here. Marc Gasol just went here. I wish I could. ESPN, they should let me see who's still available here. I wish I could see that. So there you go, Denny Avdija. I still don't know how to say his last. Avdija. Who knows? Ebron Watch is on here, but I don't know. I think that's going to do it for tonight's show. We'll wait and see what happens here. We got one guy on auto pick here. I think he liked his team though, so he left early. But really fun draft. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. PJ Tucker just goes there. Austin takes him. And Darius Basley, one of the favorite picks from our draft last night. And Tomas Satoransky. So really fun draft here. I'll just recap mine real quick. I took Giannis number 1, came back with Zion and Brandon Ingram. I stacked the Pelicans. I'm going to be a Pelicans fan this year, apparently. I got Jaylen Brown, Kelly Oubre Jr., Sexton, and Dejounte Murray to lock down my point guards. Brandon Clark, Rashawn Holmes, Jarrett Allen, RJ Barrett, Daniel Tice, and Chris Boucher. So I like the build of the team. It was a pretty fun pretty fun draft here. I think we're going on about an hour 15 minutes here. So I'm gonna sign off. We got Monday Night Football here. It looks like it's halftime, so I'm gonna get some refreshments and get to the game. But again, thank you guys so much for your time. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I want to answer this question real quick. So I've never played fantasy hockey before, but I might be willing to play. I know nothing about hockey, so hockey. The two sports I know the most are football and basketball. Dabbling a little bit in baseball. I don't know much about baseball. If I had a baseball podcast, I'd be the narrator kind of thing. But fantasy hockey could be fun. I've never played. I've played some DFS lineups for hockey, but I've never dived into it. Am I taken last? I do not feel good at all anymore, especially my first round. So let me look at Matt Bame's team real quick. Basketball is fun because the draft is part of it, but if you want to have a good fantasy team, you just need to try. You just need to keep adding players off the waiver wire. I like to leave 1 or 2 roster spots at the end of my bench to see what's going on and just constantly improving my team. So the draft doesn't seal your fate, but Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, Tobias Harris, Siakam, Joker, DeLon Wright. We kind of talked about the Pistons a lot tonight and saying how there's a lot of opportunity there. Nobody expects anything out of them. So there's going to be some minutes and some points to be had there. Jaren Jackson, you're not going to get him for a little while yet. I think I saw he might be back mid-January here, so you're going to probably want to slide him to the IR and go to the waiver wire. I like Schroeder. Conley's pretty steady off the bench here. You don't have to pay a high price tag for him. Blake Griffin, you get Blake Griffin for a whole season. That's going to make this team pretty competitive for the playoffs. Tim Hardaway Jr., fun player there on the Mavericks. He actually made some pretty nice waves last year. He's an ascending player there too, so I like him. Malik Beasley, he's going to probably be in competition here with guys like Rubio and Anthony Edwards for some playing time. So not my favorite pick, but this was a productive player last year. You look at his numbers here. This guy might be able to hold off the rookie Anthony Edwards for a little bit, but you probably looked at these points there, Matt, and saw some pretty good potential. Duncan Robinson, pretty good player there too, pretty good scorer. He kind of faded a little bit in the bubble, but this is a very streaky shooter here. It's not going to chip in too much in the other columns, but really good three-point shooter there. So Matt Bame, we'll see what happens there. But again, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for hanging out in the chat tonight. I appreciate everybody watching, and thank you so much for your time. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a good rest of your night, and basketball tomorrow night. So enjoy, and we'll see you guys in another video. Peace.